And then came the traffic. Cider.
Yes.
Ja. I am sorry that I cannot attend this meeting. Very sorry, because it is what interests me very fundamentally. It is our consciousness of the world, what we how we experience the world, and everybody experiences it in his own way, has his own world. But we have the true world is common to everybody of us. But everybody sees it in his own way. And I gave to a conference, Mind State conference, I gave a statement which I can read. The spiritual and the material world are often regarded to exist as two separate realms, even to be existentially contradictory. But the opposite is true. They are complementary, forming an all-embracing human reality. The material world is a topic of natural science, natural research. Deep insights were provided into the macrocosmos of the galaxies, as into the microcosmos of the atoms, and into the material and energetic mechanisms of life processes. This knowledge forms the basis for the development of technical industrial civilization. It would be difficult to accept that this was the true role of natural science, namely to provide us with the comfort of industrial society, including the catastrophic ecological and social problems. I believe that the true evolutionary value and importance of the natural sciences in the history of mankind consists in providing deep spiritual insights into the material cosmos, into the riddle and wonder of creation. The Creator does not speak with words to his creatures. As Paracelsus, the great natural scientist and philosopher and physician of the Renaissance, said, the creation is the book written by the finger of God in which we should learn to read. That is what Paracelsus said. The chemical and physical mechanism of life processes are described, not explained, by natural scientific investigations. If these investigations are meditated upon, they will fulfill us with astonishment and awe. As an example, take the elucidation of the process of seeing. It shows that in the outer world are no color exists. The color picture of the world is formed inside, as an inner screen, on the inner screen in the consciousness of the individual. Every individual bears inside his self-made private picture of the world. The Creator used a trick. letting us experience different lengths of electromagnetic light waves as different colors. We experience different wavelengths as different colors. What a change. In order that we may enjoy the beauty of a colored world. Natural science has disclosed innumerable examples of such tricks, which prove that the creation is designed to make mankind happy. In a meditative state of mind, we become consciousness of His grace. That is my message to this conference. I wish you much success and happiness to everybody.
Correct.
I like
That was
these.
great. That was great. And we'll send you the tape. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
Now I want to get a picture of the kitty. I'm going to make Amadeus get back.
Oh, the Amadeus, get back to your place.
She's ready to go out to hunt already, the kitty. Come on, you big boy. Come on. And the view.
And now you want a picture of the two of you, yes?
Okay.
With the cat. With the cat.
Kom, Amadeus, kom.
Likes it, huh? Says, yeah, I'm the star. That's great.
Do cats like LSD? Do cats like
Let me
LSD
get one of
too?
you guys.
No.
No, they don't like it?
I don't know.
You must have given some to cats sometimes.
Maybe on vicariously, right?
Kom, hoe is dat? Kom, wat doen ze? I think he will put it on.
Do you want to go outside?
Kom, Amadeus, kom.
Go outside.
Vrees niet, we got the other side to open.
Yep. Yes, there she goes.
What have you been reading here?
Huh?
What have you been reading here?
Ja, maar je lijkt
I think I better get busy and write some more, huh?
I have the whole your letters. And also, I did not. No, it was it. No, it didn't go.
All
I
right,
have another
right.
one which I sent you, but it's not
It's
copied.
funny to see that, and I have yours too. I have all yours. I brought one with me.
I sent one before this letter arrived. Before this letter arrived. Not before this great letter arrived. Just, you see.
With the cat.
I gave
Ja, das ist gut. Die kommt wohl zurück.
Ja, ik kwam het eens. Hoe is dat niet gelukt? Ja, op een moment is zelfs ook koffie drinken.
Ja, zie je wat ik ook. Oké.
I came over and
Etwas anders, ja.
Amadeus was sitting on the desk. We'll go around and look.
I would love to go around that way.
Zullen die kaars krijgen en dan
Wat is het ziet? Maar we hebben op zich toch goed genessen. Is dat ook
gaan
genessen?
kijken.
Ja, we zullen het zetten, we goed genessen. We zeggen, ze zitten dit aan ons.
What a great name for a cat, huh?
You speak real Schweizerdeutsch, eh?
Ja. Oh yeah, I said it.
Yeah?
But not now, no.
No, not now.
No.
No. But does it help to?
Yeah, it's impression, yes. It's still so very, very
Yeah.
wide, worldwide.
She has a kleine, a small headache, so I'll just
Headache.
pressure, head pressure. No, that's
Yeah, not really.
Albert.
This will take it away.
A measure of feeling. It is whether it is pressure or pain. because too much pressure becomes pain in the body, and that's a way of measuring it. So like 1 unit of pressure could be 10 units of pressure would equal pain, right? So that's the beginning.
Right, yes, okay, say it.
She gave me a shawl. Shall
Yeah,
I show it to you?
Yes, okay.
And I like it so much, and you might tell her that
Yes.
I'm very fond of it.
We are going to go back to Basel now. We might go back to Warner's house.
Oh, that's Werner's shawl. Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. And she gave it before I left. She gave it to me, and I like it very much. You might tell her.
Yes, I will tell her. I will show her this. So she can see it tonight.
And you will go back.
Yes, we will go back. That's why.
You might tell her.
Yes, that it's very nice.
I really love it, and you might tell her.
Yeah.
Do you remember, if you remember, Dr. Rick Strassman came to visit with
I could also say,
Dr. Strassman from New Mexico? He wanted me to say hello to you.
well, because then there one thing I have
DMT,
that show you. Book.
He was here, but
But
it's a
now
long time
we
in
must
spring.
have our book.
Okay.
He was here, wasn't he?
Anita is not happy.
But I wrote his name down so you can
Yeah.
read a greeting from him for
Okay.
both of you. We just like to say, he was here in the spring. I think it was April.
This plum.
Yeah, this plum will get us
Really strong, but
His
will
name
go
is
down the mountain.
Rick
I
Strassman.
was like,
Strassman.
I one
Okay.
sip, one sip.
That's so many
Feel
people.
it. With only
Right
one
now,
sip,
they
I
all
did
find
shoot.
you.
Was enough. Unschluck was enough for me to feel the alcohol in my body.
You have to be
It's
out.
good. It's good.
Oh, it's indeed a strong stone. It's a strong stone.
That's what I felt yesterday.
They say, oh yes, we know you. We have been
Was this
in
not
the
study?
house. I said, sorry, I don't remember.
Maggie, give me your pink, your little finger. Just stick your little finger,
Yeah.
because that's your hand also, yeah?
I know.
No, yeah, you can do it, but that will take a minute. That's magic, yeah? It's not science.
If you believe.
If you believe. Well, shall I tell my theory about magic?
Is
Yeah.
anybody
Like,
want to
An observation.
concentrate on you
Any
coffee?
event, an observation is a function
Cake or
Yeah.
something?
of the world state,
do you want any of that cake?
yeah,
there?
of the world state,
Mm.
of the observed, of time,
Cake was
and
incredible.
now
We'll
since
have some more.
quantum physics we know it is a function of the observer, yeah?
Also, it's a response.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in that formula we have the observer, we have the world state,
Mhm.
that's what we are looking at, and time.
Mhm.
Now I believe that in that formula, the function of time has to extend both in the future and in the past.
Mm.
So the likeliness of an event,
So this is all nice.
Yeah.
Switched, yeah.
the measurability, what we measure,
Mm.
is not only influenced by the past,
Mhm.
but by the future.
Yeah, that's good one.
But
Okay.
how can you say?
Because
What is
this
your
one is
your
a bit too much for me.
Give me some proof.
Okay.
Give me some proof.
The proof is this.
More
You and I sit here, and I can make this, suppose I can make this glass fly, yes? Yes?
To fly.
Yeah, to fly, levitate.
Yeah, then.
Okay. The future value of this conversation, and this is happening between you and me, is very little. Because I already believe this, yes? And for you it's not, maybe not so strict. So the future value of this event is not very big.
Mm.
So
Wow.
it might work. Now suppose we have President Bush, President Clinton, and the Prime Minister of Switzerland sitting here, and we do it.
No, that's not.
Yes? Now suddenly, the future value of this event is very big. Yes? Because Bush would go back to America and say, I've seen someone
Yeah, did not occur. Did not occur. No.
No, it did not
No,
occur.
it is still that.
No, but if I show it to Bush, it becomes very important. So the future value of that event
Oh, not for me. No.
weighs
I
in.
have this.
Yeah,
It's good.
the future value of whatever happens
Yeah.
plays a role in.
Future, yes.
It's in
It
the future.
would happen. Yes.
So
Yes, yes.
Now-
But it did not happen. That's
no, no, it didn't happen. But sometimes it has things happen that were strange.
No, never stay. Never happen.
Yeah, but this is like the crystal. You know there's energy here.
No, no.
No, you don't.
I put in energy because I know.
So this what I feel here, the energy is only my
This one?
my
Resonance.
It's my own resonance.
Resonance. It's resonance which you have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Those things. But what I'm researching
It's a
is
fountain of smoke over there.
if this
A fountain of
time
smoke.
value of the future
Eine Fontäne
has
rauch.
singularity,
Yeah.
yes,
Und
like
das ist-
every full moon is a
das ist sehr
different.
gut, sehr schön.
If we have the color red, if we have a crystal,
Ja.
Mhm.
if we all say yes,
Mhm.
can I influence the future value of something? And I think the magic of the science of magic
Wohin
is to
ist
find
das?
out how that
Wohin ist das?
future value in that
equation.
how it is.
Ja, das verstehe ich, aber dieser Platz mit dem Rauch,
Strange to you?
wo ist das?
If you find it out, it's no more.
Ungefähr?
Ja.
Das ist in
Ja.
Frankreich, nicht?
Yeah, but it explains, for instance, when we do research, you know,
But you cannot
Mhm. Und wo ist
in
das?
natural science.
Mhm.
You must prove. You must that
Yes.
other people can also see.
Okay,
Can
so this is my
also
proof.
understand it.
Bei uns
I cannot
ist
understand
ein
what you say.
großes
let me give you,
You cannot show me
großes
that happen.
Flamme,
Tell me
ein großes,
that it will happen in the future.
no,
I cannot
Yeah.
control
It's a
it.
big
no, no,
fire, yeah.
the value of
I
our
can see the
observation
flames,
now
I can see the individual
is
flames.
influenced by what is going to happen with it in the future.
It's an outside
How
fire.
can you tell it?
Because
you pretend
someone
it.
is
No, because in physics, everything is always a mirror. Yes, if you do the mathematics, it's always a mirror function. Yeah.
Hey, or yeah, exactly.
I'll give you one example. Many research have been done about
Smoke.
clairvoyance. Yeah, we sit here and I show you the card, you know, and you say it's red or it's blue or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
And very often,
Yeah, no, it's not
two people here.
It's not a
you will get
Let,
very significant
let's
results.
only decide it's not a house.
Yeah. Then you say, hey,
It's hay.
and then you do the test with 100,000
Straw.
people, and it always comes to nothing. Yeah. And I say that is
Fire.
because the future value of the experiment
Yes, actually.
begins to weigh
See
in.
the flames.
If you do it with two people, the future value
Mhm.
is very limited. If you do it with 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people, then people would start believing that it is true.
Mm. No.
It's a strange theory.
I think it's an objective reality which is real for everybody. It's the same reality, the same world, the same sun we have together, the same moon, and we can see it different way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can see it different way, but
Mhm.
there is a reality, an objective reality.
Aber-
But as you see, that is different.
Mhm.
Depends on my
Sensor. Yeah, on your sensors.
Mhm.
Glauben Sie auch, dass, do you believe also that although it is the same reality or the same foundation of reality, that it is not mechanic but rather organic, and I think therefore persönlich, personal.
Mhm.
The world in its ground is personal.
Mhm.
Not, es ist nicht mechanisch, es ist organisch und dafür ein Sort persönlich. Spirituell persönlich.
Ja.
Basis is
Mhm. Ist etwas der Bewusstheit da.
Mhm.
Mhm. Glauben Sie das? Dass in the end, the utmost end, there is consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm. And therefore, when it shines through us, and we look at it through our formulas and models and descriptions,
Mhm.
we are only trying to describe the mind of the subject. of that that consciousness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was it gives to us, was it? Yes.
Mhm.
Confidence.
Yes.
And for me, whenever I try to describe it, whether I write words or whatever, if I make music or whatever, it's my way of trying to describe it so I can see it better and see the with my consciousness, the bigger consciousness.
You feel the
behind
force
it.
or not?
I
You don't feel the
that
force
I'm
of
part of.
crystals?
Mhm.
I can feel it. Yeah, you
Last-
feel it or not?
That's the last thing.
There's
Mhm.
this certain.
That I see the personality of the reality
Can you feel
of
this
which
energy?
I am part.
Yeah.
So it comes in somewhere here, and it comes out of my eyes, and it goes in a circle.
I don't know. I think
I'm
this.
not strong enough.
No, I can feel it.
Mhm.
And he says it's.
Because
I don't know. I think this is also
The foundation
beauty.
reality is very much
Therefore,
described
as a
as mechanic.
Yeah, beauty is an energy.
In the models, it's an assumption
Yeah.
that it is but mechanic.
Yes, but we, as natural scientists, we describe only the material. We say nothing about matter, nothing about just
Exactly.
just the.
One circle, and then spirituality around as a
That
big
was
circle.
yes.
Okay.
But the final thing you cannot.
I believe that we can
No, but we can be part of
change
it.
the world
We
by-
cannot explain it, but we can be part of it, as we are.
Yes, yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
We can't not be part of it.
We change
That's-
our
that natural science is very,
mind, not only by these things, but
bescheiden.
by
Mhm.
bescheiden. We say only, we describe only what we can measure, what we can see, what we can. Because that is for everybody, for everybody, this glass is a glass, this is glass.
Mhm.
Chinese also, they had them as
There's two
well.
things here.
And
First, there's this thing.
This
Yes.
is objective.
Mhm.
And
But
secondly,
we may have another meaning on
Tim, you know, yes.
That's
what
not
I
it.
measure is always the,
Yes.
the weight, the chemical formula.
Mhm.
I wrote a
and
book.
I measure
with
here
Tim.
and the things.
I wrote.
That remains.
And that's also-
But
So
the glass,
when I wear this,
the glass has
It
a
feels
meaning, has a meaning.
yeah,
It's
because
not
it
No,
You
the
cannot
it
measure
reminds
the
me.
glass has an idea, the
So-
idea of the creator
Has it
of the
changed?
glass,
There's a relief.
the idea of the designer.
Mhm.
That is
Timothy,
also
you have met
not
Timothy, or not?
wissenschaftlich. That's
Timothy.
Yes, no,
Okay.
no, Wissenschaft, no, no.
He was here
It's spiritual.
several
Yeah.
times.
Okay, but making it
He was in my house. And
the model of science, it can become a glass. The idea filtered
he was a bit
through
crazy,
the
man,
models.
but, I loved it.
The idea of the creator, of the designer of this glass,
Mhm.
when filtering it through the models of natural sciences,
Mhm.
Naturwissenschaft, dann kann er mit diesen Modellen
Auch
zum
gesund.
Glas machen.
Mhm.
Und das ist ein bisschen magisch. Weil er kann, ja, mal, er ist ein, jetzt ist es fantastisch, dass es möglich ist. Mit einer Idee in Kombination mit
Es hat eine Wert.
Verständnis des Naturwissenschaft,
Mhm.
diese Glastumba
Kannst
zu
du das
machen.
machen?
Ja,
Das
das
ist
ist
Ding gemacht.
ja, ja.
War nicht hier vorher.
Auch, das ist auch ein bisschen sehr fantastisch.
Das ist doch etwas unglaublich. Wir sehen die Magie. Wir können ja nur ganz bescheidene Dinge machen. Bescheidene LSD und so. Wir können schöne Moleküle machen. Dieselben Moleküle, ich kann auch Psilocybin, was ich in der Natur extrahiert habe, kann ich auch machen. Genau dasselbe.
Synthetisch.
Synthetisch.
Ja.
Und es gibt hier eine, die Anthroposophen. Have you learned about, wissen Sie, was Anthroposophie ist? Anthroposophie.
Ja, Rudolf
Hier ist
Steiner.
ein
Ich kenne
Zentrum.
Rudolf Steiner.
Das ist Rudolf Steiner.
Ja.
And I had a discussion with these people. And when I synthesized metagene, it's a derivative.
Ja, ich kenne es. Von The Road to Eleusis. Es ist da geschrieben.
Ja, abgeschrieben, ja.
What? The
Metagene.
hydrogen?
No, metagene.
Metagene
It's a drug.
stimulator
It's a
of the
drug
uterus.
used in postpartum bleeding. In
Yeah,
postpartum bleeding.
yeah,
Yeah.
to stop was part
To
of
stop. But Hofmann took metagene and he looked at it and he thought maybe it is psychedelic. And so he took 10 times the normal dose of this drug that is sold in all the pharmacies all over Europe, including Norway. Metagene is sold.
Yeah.
And when you tried it, it is a strong psychedelic in 10 times the usual doses.
Good.
Det är intressant.
Really?
Similar, not get so clear, but it is. It is really LSD is only derivative of. I tried to synthesize ergonovine, and I did put that the first synthesis of natural ergotalpal, very first synthesis, starting with lysergic acid. And when I had a procedure to make derivatives of lysergic acid, I made a methyl homologue of ergobasine, that is metagene, methyl because it is because just I made a synthesis of the natural neutroponic stuff, which why this stuff is because because it goes on the uterus and then midwives use it to stimulate.
That's why it's called a Mutterkorn. Das ist warum es ein Mutterkorn genannt.
Ja.
Wow, klar.
Warum? Weiß was dem.
Klar.
Ja.
Verstehe.
Und
That was in
and then we could isolate, finally we could isolate, that was the isolation of this real stuff which produces this stuff, it is uterine. That was isolated in the United States, in England and in Ireland. But I could make the partial synthesis. And yes, I come back. And I discussed this problem with people of Stein, Rudolf Stein.
Okay.
He said, what you synthesize is quite different from the natural.
From the nature, yeah.
From nature.
Yeah.
It's quite different.
The anthropologist would say
But I think if I give you
If it's the same, it's
from
the same.
nature which I isolate and which I make
There's no film in my
synthesis,
face too.
if you can, so, yeah, no, some difference. I agree with you.
Okay.
But if you can, but you could not tell me that this inside, just this inside, is different. But it's like if you can some different in chemistry or in activity, some, then
it is the same.
but it's not the same. But it is the same.
It's
And
the
that is
same.
proven by Huxley over this. Huxley always
No,
that
same
story.
persona.
When I gave
Same as well.
a synthetic ergo, synthetic psilocybin, the Maria Sabina. He also said, yes, the spirit of the mushrooms is
Yes.
here in the pills.
Exactly.
She fine, that was a proof.
The final affirmation.
I really by the expert person who knew that they
Das ist sehr wichtig.
Huxley really spoke about this story from Huxley. He says, oh, that is really to test the synthetic material by Maria Sabina.
Yeah,
Which we did. That was a wonderful experience. That's his session.
Yeah, and outside in her hut, in her cabin.
Yeah.
I've seen the photographs. I've seen the photographs from you and Wasson traveling in Mexico. It's in a book called The Road of Persephone. Med Gordon Wasson. Så jeg ser godt fotografien da.
Did Anita do the mushrooms too? Did you do
The mushrooms too?
He enjoyed it in Mexico.
Yeah.
Und hat es hier auch diese Pilzen esst? Und did you try the mushrooms
Yes, he did.
as well?
We enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. Mushroom.
I must say I really like the attitude of Gordon Wasson and how he became interested, the story of his wife, how they started from Eastern and Western Europe, started to discuss, and then he changes his whole beruf, his own profession, because of this discussion, and goes into it and finds like in the bottom this like gem. Wow, psilocybin. It's fantastic. I mean, it's a fantastic acquisition.
He had not any idea about chemistry, what that is.
No.
He said the mushroom are active. The mushroom are active. And when I had isolated active principle, he did not know what that is exactly. He came to my lab then, and I showed him the crystals and explained him that the mushroom is a composition of thousands of different compounds. And one compound, one part of the mushroom, only 2,000 is psilocybin, the active principle. And that is the active principle. And I showed him in the microscope. I have all the pictures when he looks at crystals. Because he could not understand before what that means, isolation, active principle.
But can I ask, how did you guess from all the compounds inside the mushroom, how did you guess that psilocybin and psilocin and psilocybin were the active principles? From knowing the indole ring, was that why? Or how from all this stuff, how do you guess?
Yeah, I will explain to you. These mushrooms were investigated in 3 labs in the United States, Amsterdam, and then a university, and in Paris, and they did not find anything. They did not find anything. And then Professor Hein said, the idea, the activity is the same like LSD. Same. I asked, and he asked me if we were very interested to investigate the mushrooms. He believes that we have experience in this field, and we have experience. The difference was, that's just what you asked. I knew.
The ring.
No.
Okay.
I knew that you cannot test. You must test the activity. You must, when you isolate, you must see this part is active, this is nothing. You separate, and this is active.
Okay, so you start with the
and they tested all in animals. They always tested in animals. In laboratory, always in animals.
But
You don't find anything.
No.
And I know it was with LSD. I gave LSD in my lab. Until 5 years, he did not find anything in animals. And further, I knew that we must testify on ourselves, with humans. And when I got the mushrooms, immediately I make the first experience, and they were active, and then now we test on ourselves, and the fraction we test on ourselves. The other tested on cats, on mice, and did not see anything, because they have not the consciousness. It is the consciousness which reacts in the human. And therefore we were successful immediately. What first thing when the mushrooms came to Paris, I took a bit too much. My wife. And I knew about the description that they took 24 Paris. All the Indians had people always in 2.
Okay.
And I took also this, which was said that they are active. I took, and it was 2.4 grams.
And how many mushrooms?
About 24.
Okay.
A little.
Okay. Yeah. So,
And then I had very, very strong, as it's written in my book, very strong experience, and I...
You believed it? You believed it was active?
And I did not go home. I said to my friend, you must take me to your home until I'm normal again. I think, that's the world now, and I want to go home, my wife will be... What do you do? You have children. And therefore I did not, and I went there, and until I was normal, and then I went home. But then I knew, and I knew this 22.4 grams.
2.4 grams.
That is a dark dose. And when we made the extract, we reduced always to a fourth of this. For only or 1/5
Yeah, for sure.
corresponding. So, and we could test this extraction always this believing that the whole activity is this fraction.
So
And then we could take
the
in the lab,
fractions.
and we had the experience, but not too strong. And therefore, this testing on ourselves, myself and then my colleagues, we could isolate, we could always separate, separate, and then finally crystallize the pure. We make separation by
And
different.
did you ever make tests of parts that were not active?
Of course, we did.
Exactly.
We did every fraction. If we,
So some of the fractions were not active.
Let
You
me have
followed
a
the
mushroom.
ones.
You have the dry mushroom. Then I make an extract with chloroform. Extract is not just extracting. And then we have something which called not in chloroform and something was in chloroform. And then we tested the residue of chloroform or nothing. And we knew it is as a thing. Then we take out with methanol. And there was a residue and with an extract. And this extract was the whole residue of the methanol extract was active and the rest was not. And then we had it in this. And then we used it other things. And so Elvis here or here, and
It's
it's tested finally you can have it.
There's a bisschen wie...
So the testing was lots of people got
half und so
But we have always made one. I always made the extract totally. Totally with chloroform. Then it is either here or here. And then with another medium here or here. And
exactly.
Then it was here and here and here
Exactly.
and here and here and here and here and here. And finally you have the active principle.
Yeah, and the
But it
crystallization.
is always on not in animals. See, even the chemist who tried to isolate the mushroom principle, he often tested it on fishes. Did not see anything. They did with cats and with mice, and they did not see anything.
But I saw a photograph yesterday. Yesterday I saw a photograph in one of Venus' books of someone.
The spider?
No, not the spider. No, a
spider
cat
on
that
a-
had been given LSD and
Oh, yes.
it was afraid of the flower. It was a picture
Of the mice, of the mouse.
of the
Mouse.
mouse.
Or the mouse in the cage. And the mice came in and the cat inside.
Yeah. So it works.
From our lab, from mouse. Sandoz lab.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but this was so
But
there
at
was an
the end,
effect.
yes, it has some effect, but more and much more. You have 100 times as more you use for humans. You give nothing, and then you see this effect. Of course it has, but you need much more than for humans.
Can I tell you a story? In Norway, when I was 16, a friend of the house where I was living was he was the chief of the Norwegian medicinal depot, right? Which was a state-owned enterprise, and he had as much LSD as he could want, right? Access to this, and he didn't use it himself, but he tried to kill kittens with it. He thought he tried to kill kittens, little kittens that had to die, right? And he tried to use LSD because he thought LSD would be a good way to die, right? And he gave these kittens, small kittens, huge doses of LSD, and he said they didn't die, and all that happened was that they became extremely sensitive. And one of them, he said he was watching it, was trying to jump over a pool of water, and it jumped, and it was completely disoriented in its motor, so it landed in the middle of the water. And that's all happened. All that happened,
yes,
and he couldn't, no matter how big those.
All these experiments were maybe the 100 times higher doses than is used. 100 or 1,000 times. That is the difference. Therefore, you don't see this is testing on animals. You will see, because you need 100 times or 1,000 times more. In animals, they are not. It is not just they have no consciousness, and they have. But LSD has also a reaction on other on other functions of our brain. And these other functions which are also in animals, but there you need 100 or 1,000 times more until you see it something. And that is crazy. Of course, LSD is a very toxic substance.
Yes,
if you take too much, you could. Animals die with about you take 15,000 so those that are per bite of animal, then they die. Mice. You take 15,000 more than you use for having experience in the weight of the animal, and then they die. And they die because the breathing is blocked.
Oh.
Breathing is blocked.
Okay, so they
in animals, the breathing is the rules where they die.
That's interesting.
But it needs enormous doses.
Yeah, it's mad, I suppose. But then, when you finished the principle, you took it to Mexico, and Maria Sabina
gave the pills.
Yeah.
She didn't think the pills would work, did she?
Huh?
She confirmed.
She was surprised.
Yeah, but it was very interesting.
Was she surprised?
Huh?
Was this a surprise? Eine Überraschung für Sie?
No, I knew that it would be.
No,
I knew that it is identical. My chemistry is identical.
But Überraschung für Maria Sabino?
We gave the pills.
Yeah.
And we explained them that what the spirit of the mushroom is in this pill rush. And then we had this session, ceremonies, and with Maria Sabina and her two daughters and another curandero and some people were all on Gordon, and then our interpreter was living down, and there were the ceremonies, and then they gave the pills. And I thought that this pill is 5 mushrooms, or so I explained in what that means. And then she gave corresponding to 30 milligrams she took for herself, and for others she gave about 10 milligrams, corresponding of 5 milligrams, corresponding pill rush. And then, after this was distributed, after the ceremony, they were still waiting the effects. And they heard speaking, and there was an interpreter told to Gordon that the pills don't work. Pills don't work. And he knew that was only a quarter of an hour passed. It is impossible, it cannot work. The pills work only about half an hour. And we said, God must not do it. We say it was not enough. We give another dosage. Said. And they gave, and we explained you should give a bit more. And then he gave a bit more, a bit more to everybody. And so we went time. And then after half an hour after the first dosage, she came. Full experience. But she makes it, she observed the difference. When you shows the mushrooms, it goes directly in the brain, beating. When we have pills, we go to mushrooms, so that takes half an hour. The mushrooms work for after a quarter of an hour. And it's different, she observed this, she said,
Okay.
and so that was a big observation.
Right. Of course. She actually noticed that it was a longer period of time.
Yeah, she said it don't work, it didn't work, but because the mushrooms work about this time and so. And so we went.
In my country.
Wait,
Chris, I think she wants to give
well,
some
and I want to hear what you were just about to say about the experience. How was the experience for everyone after they felt the effects? She had taken extra and given extra to everyone.
Huh?
She gave extra doses, extra pills.
Maria.
And
I
so,
will give it.
how was it? How was it then? Was it a lot stronger?
It was for her similar to the real mushroom.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. She said this exactly the spirit of the mushroom is in these pills. And I gave her a bottle of these pills, and she can make the ceremonies when there are no mushrooms.
Right. So she doesn't have to go out and pick the mushrooms.
It was in NWS there were no mushrooms, and then we had the pills to as substitute.
That's good. This one's Jim Fadiman's book. He wanted you to have it. His first novel.
Where is Fadiman?
Where is he? He's still in California. He's the one that, you know.
Where is Fadiman?
Oh no, these are kids. These are hippie kids in the 60s. And he writes about them in the book.
He's not here.
And
Chris.
that's his one. And that's his message for you.
Oh, but you know, I have many, I must tell you, I am a bit disappointed about the Americans. They did not take careful and write the names of other people. Just these things and so, and they are not careful. They write my name with all kinds, but not the right name. Two F and two F. I must say that would, a European, that would be impolite. Just to write the name without being careful. If I sign a book that says, write your name here and then I can see it, but you say, this is wrong.
I know. I know. I'm going to yell at him. He mailed it to me in California, and I saw that when I got to Europe, and I was like,
It's only for a German to see the
I was
difference.
going to put it
Dus
away.
het is eigenlijk tussen hof en hoofd, ja?
Fix it up.
Oh no, it's too messy to do. I was going to white it out, but I'm not going to scratch it out. It's Jim's
But all
character.
the Americans all do this.
Really? That's
American
funny.
write
Yeah,
and
that's funny.
all the other people write in the right way. But Americans believe just the kind.
When they come into America in the old days, your name was Slobanovich. They said, Slab. Yeah? They changed the name when they came into the
Thank
country.
you, but thank you for it.
Oh,
You can change here.
It's a great book.
It's a great book.
It's a nice novel.
I love it.
Jim's never going to live that one down. And this, maybe you can read this one. This one's from Medina. She wrote that last night. Thank you. And the rest in here, there's magazines from.
Salas.
That's
That's
the
a
latest
Shanghai.
one.
I think because I don't remember this picture, but I think I have in my books.
This is the
Is
latest.
that another book with the same title? No?
No, this is a magazine put out in the U.S. and the editor did this painting review.
But Shannon Strand is the time of the magazines.
Right. I think I mailed you one before.
Ah, yes. I believe that was the title of a contribution. No?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
same as it's a magazine.
It's a magazine, yeah. Yes, yes, therefore. I have a but I believe that was the title of the book, not the title of the magazine. Just of this, so just of this copy. And therefore, I have one book with this title. I mean, another copy of another number of this magazine.
The only one I sent you before, I think, was about a year ago, maybe. Another shaman. Oh, it was a psychedelic issue. It was from a year ago, and I sent you a copy too, and it was all about psychedelics and mysticism. But this one I thought was cute because he did a picture of you on the cover. Do you recognize it?
That
Do
is
you recognize yourself on that?
That is a picture of you. When the saxophone
That's you.
A bit,
A little bit. A few different versions.
and here also a bit.
Ja.
Here a bit and most.
Das ist dich und Janus.
Right. There's more inside too. So you'll have fun.
So you became a god.
Oh, he's always been a god.
What
is Shri?
Shri means holy man.
Oh,
Shri.
my God.
Parents.
I can a holy man this
Yeah.
He made a human being.
Yes, but you are.
Shri Albert, yeah.
Trust me, you are a very human being. Doesn't matter, it doesn't change you, don't worry.
And these are from Mark Hofmann.
Are you?
Isn't that funny?
I hope you're very fond of this picture.
Yeah,
Very happy. Oh, don't you think so?
no.
You're very fond of, very happy with this picture.
Hier bijna. In de gemeente gaan we deze naam verstaan. Hier bijna.
Something similar.
Titel. Oh, how many times? Ah, that is not a. Oh, to be still alive.
Yeah, me too.
And afterwards I become.
Yeah, I think I like better.
Become a spirit.
Original. Original.
Yes.
This is a very nice picture. Good idea.
The original?
The idea is well meant. It's a good meaning in the idea.
Respect and love.
It's, yeah.
Yes, but still. Try my best better.
That is good too.
The original, yeah.
Well, Dr. Hofmann, I wonder if I could ask you a small but very important question about psychedelics. I wonder, what is your thoughts of the future of psychedelics from today and in relation to the ecology, and how the consciousness of human beings will be, how it can be transformed into a better harmony with the ecology. What do you see in the next 50 years? What do you think will happen?
I hope, because I get so many letters of young people who said, I had no idea, nature had no meaning for me. After LSD, I saw, I became a god in the wood, and I saw I was looking for nature. And you see, when you take LSD in the natural, in the living environment, there is quite a different thing as in a dead surrounding.
Yes.
And therefore, I hope for the ecological question, it's very important to get another consciousness, to see the wonder of nature. Of nature, not the secondary world which man makes, or artificial world. And to make the thing that is very important, that you have, for an LSD experience, you have a living nature, or a person who's with you, which is life must be with you. Cannot, for me alone, you can also, you may have your inspiration, but I think important is a living environment, living, not
Yes,
the
yes,
dead.
yes. I
And
understand
therefore,
that very much.
really, that is one of the most important things for me, that I see so young people become interested and seeing the wonder of nature, which they did not without thought before.
Yeah.
And that is, seems to me very important, very important.
And looking upon the situation in the world today with like this prestige ship falling apart and spilling all that oil,
Yeah.
it's going in two directions. It gets worse, but a lot of people get the awareness and it gets better. You know, it happens at the same time. It's a polarization, right? What do you think will happen with this polarization over the next 50 years? If you make a guess.
I'm saying it's very dramatic situation will come. Very dramatic. I don't, who will win? As we have men as Bush. Imagine, such a terrible man is the most powerful man of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is a terrible thing.
Absolutely.
He wishes to make war. He
Just
refuses to work with protecting the environment. He refuses to make the banning the biological weapons.
Yes.
It's an international. He said no, we will use weapons, but he looking for traces of this weapon in
Iraq.
In Iraq.
Yeah.
And he says we must have it. We don't. This incredible, and the whole mankind does not rebel.
Right.
No, that's the mystery. That's the mystery.
Why
Why
he has
not?
a lot
Why
of big
not?
bombs? Why is that too much?
Yeah. Why not? Why don't we rebel? Why don't we protest?
Why do not some American cut
To shoot them.
to shoot this man? Shoot this man.
Okay.
But I think I am absolutely sure it's not his man. It's behind what is
Right.
Yes.
Right.
This man is too stupid.
Yes.
It's only
Yeah. Yeah.
speaks what the people
Marionette.
think behind.
Marionette.
It is industry, it is the oil companies and all the business people, they say, that is, he says, we cannot follow this international convention to protect nature because that would be bad for our business.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And still the people.
All that should, the others should follow these instructions, but they not, the
No.
business.
How long do you think it will take before the consciousness that people learn from psychedelics like LSD will prevail? Will be how long do you think it will take before the ecological harmony wins over these destructive forces?
I don't know, but I think every process goes quicker than ever. Very, very quick now. Development is goes so, no more so in this elections, it goes. And therefore, I think that within 20 years it will
20 years.
decision already, because it goes so quickly.
Yeah.
Imagine what happened in my life. When I left before the First World War. And I think it was the same picture on the street as 2,000 years before. On the street, no cars, just horses or cows on the And in one house in the street where we lived, people said, there is an equipment. We hear voices from somebody which is not here, there.
Right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the first
Telephone.
Imagine. Incredible. And at this time, the quiet, all this development, and just quicker and quicker and quicker and everything. It is terrible.
No, but it is good too if it could be good if it was done in proportion with nature, in harmony and proportion with the ecological foundations.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's, I think that is a consciousness that is growing and catching up. And I agree with you. The next 20 years will decide. I think the ecological consciousness will win One
I
reason,
hope so.
yeah, one reason is that I
but
hope that.
Now
And that-
it seems that Bush is winning. Bush
Yeah.
is winning.
But when he is so strong,
Too
then
strong.
then the other
Oh,
will get
yes,
stronger.
yes, that may be,
But then they see it
it's
clearer.
the battle. It's the strange battle.
All the passive people, because he's so strong, will see that he's doing wrong and join the other side.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
think.
Yeah, yeah.
And hope.
I hope.
Do you
I
agree?
hope, I hope.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree because it's too much now.
Mhm.
He makes everything against official of the whole world,
Mhm.
against all this. And
Mhm.
finally, I think he cannot win.
Exactly.
And I also hope that after this 11th of September,
Mhm.
I had now changes. Now something was. It
Yes.
is terrible what happened, but that is the signal. Now
Mhm.
this symbol of
Mhm.
world trade. The
Mhm.
world trade is the
Mhm.
center of the world. Is the trade,
Yes.
not
yes.
nature. Trade,
Mhm.
and this symbol must be destroyed.
Mhm.
And I was that now is the beginning of change of the world.
Wow,
But-
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thought. That the rule of nature is beginning because the symbol of the rule of materialism is fallen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
So what do we put
Thank
in its
you.
That
place?
is because of the trade center, and the trade is the trade. I mean, it's material, world,
Mhm,
material,
mhm.
and also center, world center,
Mm-hmm. Well,
world center. And this was down with the whole world.
and
Put signal.
and now